All right, y'all. So I want to ask you a question, but I want you to grasp the seriousness of this question. So drop your black and white. You just found out that your wife just went through a very traumatic experience. And through that whole experience, you held that shit down. You held her hand and made sure that she could depend on you through high and hell water. And when she made a full recovery, how did she repay you? By wanting a hall pass. Hello everybody, how are we doing today? It's your man here, Jackson's Gambit, with another video for you. So in today's video, we have a couple. They've been together for 20 to 20 plus years, and the man's wife found out that she had cancer. When she made a full recovery, I guess she was going through a midlife crisis, because then she decided to live life to the fullest in more ways than one.
A 10-day trip to Europe, followed by a trip to Belize. We also have a trip to the UK and Spain/Portugal later this year. I'm fine with these things, building memories and crossing bucket list adventures off her/our list. I also understand that these are a result of feeling fragile on her part. She also took up yoga, swimming, and healthy cooking classes. I was fully on board until last week.
All of this sounds reasonable, right? When you go through something like that where you could literally lose your life and then you make a recovery, then you want to live your life to the fullest. And I get that. You want to take trips, you want to experience new things. All that is well and good. But to me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, something kind of seems a bit off. And you're kind of morphing into someone who I don't recognize anymore.
Last week, she came home from work and told me she wanted a hall pass, a one-time opportunity for her to have sex with someone else besides me. She said that since her cancer diagnosis, her outlook on life has changed, and she doesn't want to be handcuffed from doing things she wants to do. She explained that there is this guy at her work, and she has always had some attraction to him. He is leaving the company, and she will never see him again, so this is the perfect opportunity to sleep with someone else. She said that I could say no, of course, but that she would, quote, be mad/disappointed at me for an undetermined amount of time, and that it would be confirmation of my male toxicity and insecurity.
Now, you can jump off airplanes and ride motorcycles and whatnot, but a hall pass, yeah, that is a hard no for me. Beating cancer does not give you an excuse to go fuck Johnny down the street. Usually when I hear stories about this, about women who want to have relations with other men, even though they're in a relationship, they always want to give the excuse of, well, I asked you. Well, if you asked me, then you wanted to have sex with this guy in the first place. So you think that you asking me for permission to have sex with this guy is supposed to clear you of any wrongdoings? You're still guilty.
Got up in the morning. She basically said that she was sorry for putting such a large decision solely on my shoulders, and that to help, she was taking the decision away from me. She booked a hotel near where her coworkers are having a party/send-off for this guy, and she would spend the night there with him and hope that I would be here when she got back.
So the wife decided to take the choice off the table and not give her husband any chance to deny this request of her stepping out on her marriage. Now, he can't ask any questions about who this guy is or anything like that, and if he had any questions, she would answer it after the fact. Her friend had to confront him and say that he's callous for even not letting her commit this act of adultery because you don't know what she's been through. Guaranteed it was probably her friend that suggested this. This is why I always say that you need to choose better people around you.
I went to the bar where the get-together was happening. Well, not the bar, but a transit bench across the street. I waited for a long time. It was running through my mind, the leading up to this event, that I need to know who this guy was, maybe to compare myself against him, to see what he had that I do not. It was driving me crazy not knowing who he was and what was so special about him that she would ruin our marriage for. After what seemed like an eternity, a woman that I recognized from my wife's office left the bar and got in a cab. Soon, other people started filing out and a whole group came out and people were hugging a man and shaking his hand. I assumed that I had my guy. I didn't see my wife and had a brief thought that maybe she called it off. I unblocked her and there were no messages. Everyone said their goodbyes and left. Dude was standing outside for a few minutes and then my wife came out. She looked around, took his hand, and started walking away together. Of all the emotions I went through, trepidation, sadness, anger, it was disgust that really encapsulated the event for me. This guy was short, fat, and bald. All the things I cannot compete with.
Now, I don't know what this guy looks like, but if he is describing this man as short, bald, then bro, you ain't missing out on nothing, alright? So instead of fucking Johnny, she's fucking Harry. So you're telling me that you decided to spend a hall pass on fucking George from Seinfeld?
Woke up Sunday morning and put a lock on the master bedroom door. I moved her things to the spare room and left a note asking her to find other accommodations as quickly as possible. I visited another friend who is a lawyer and he gave me some sage advice and a couple of recommendations for divorce attorneys and made the introductions. My wife has been calling me numerous times since around 11 or so. Once blocked, the calls go to voicemail. I listened to the first couple but felt nothing but some satisfaction when she couldn't get through to me and she was obviously concerned.
Good job, my guy. Yo, if she wants to disrespect you like that, then you have every right to walk away at the end of the day. It's called self-respect. This man did exactly what he was supposed to do. Move that shit out, find you some place to go. I'm gonna be over here living my life right now. I give you every opportunity to not go through with this and you decided to go with it anyway. This is what happens when you listen to outside people instead of listening to the people who matter most in your life, aka your husband.
I again asked her to find some other accommodations and she simply said, I am not going anywhere. We are not getting a divorce. I will give you all the time you need and do whatever you need to recover from this. We will get past this. She has asked me to go to marriage counseling, which I refused. Why would I go to counseling? I did nothing to warrant needing a therapist.
Why would I go see a therapist when I'm not the person who's responsible for this? You're the one that stepped out in the marriage, not me. Yes, I'm going to pay for a therapist to tell me that maybe it's my fault the reason why she did. You weren't attentive enough. You weren't talking enough. You didn't know. This man did the right thing. Knew his value and walked away from this marriage. Because clearly this woman didn't care about you enough. Now you want to fight for the marriage after I'm saying I'm done with it? No, I don't think so. Look, life is hard. You should be blessed enough to have certain people in your life who stick it out even when things get rough, because most people would dip at the drop of a hat when things get rough. This man stood by you through the whole thing. Be blessed to the people who are in your life that actually want to stick around, the good people. Don't take them for granted. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this content and I will see you tomorrow on the next one. All right? Later days. Peace.